Hello, we're going to try that again. Now I'm usually not muted. I've been doing good, but at least I caught it in the beginning. So I got all my peeps right here with me as I was saying, but you couldn't hear me saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is you are tuning in from. Hi, hi, hi. Where are my boss chicks at? Where are my high achieving women entrepreneurs? Where are my feminine fearless leaders? Where are my corporate career women? Let's come through. Let's get them in the room. Let's get them in the room. Come on through. I want you to tag a biz bestie. I want you to tag one of your sister girls, your entrepreneur entourage. I want you to tag somebody to be in the room with us today and let me know when you are here. Welcome back, everyone. Listen, I am so thrilled. I mean, we are moving and shaking. Okay, time flies, right? Feels like we just started this live stream episode. We are back for our 5th episode today of this live stream series. So, hey there, Facebook peeps. Hi, fam. Hi there, Insta fam. Hey there, YouTubers. Hi there, LinkedIn. Like, hi to everybody. I really appreciate you being here in the resuscitation room. Listen, this is your weekly dose of business vitality. This is your sanctuary. We are breathing new life into businesses and legacies on the brink, right? Going from flatline, right, to frontline, okay? And I want you to know that this is where dreams get a second chance, not just to survive, but to thrive, okay? So listen, I want you to pull up a chair, sit on the couch, whatever it is that's comfortable for you, but I want you to come close, as I always say, as we get comfy and cozy and ready to get into this conversation today. Okay. All right. Because we're going to get into it every day. Like this is, and I want to make sure you can hear me on Instagram. So as you come in, just give me a thumbs up and let me know that you can hear and see me clearly because it's looking a little dim over here on my end. But I want to make sure that nobody misses out on this great information today. All right. But yes, definitely pull up a chair, get cozy on the couch and come close to me so we can feel each other's energy. I wish I could see your beautiful faces, your beautiful smiles, but that's about as close as we can get to each other here virtually, right? So make sure, hey there, Vanessa, make sure you give me a thumbs up if you can see me clearly. If you can hear me clearly, that would be appreciated. Because I don't know why I'm not able to see the comments here, but I'm going to. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. All right. Listen, this series that we are doing is your front row seat of turning critical conditions into critical conditions into paralleled. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Unparalleled successes. Okay, it makes a difference. Critical conditions into unparalleled successes to reveal the heart pumping, soul stirring truth beneath it all. Okay. And so this is where we are going to empower you to revive your empire and elevate your life. So be sure as you come in the room to hashtag live when you're here, when you arrive, hashtag live when you arrive. All right. And if you're watching at a later date on the replay, that's great too. Hashtag replay as you come into the room, because it's just like kind of like you being here in real time, but not, right? But, like we can't communicate necessarily in real time, but you can communicate with me after the fact when you come in the room so that I can come back and respond to any messages, feedback, questions, or comments that you have. So don't be shy and don't be rude. Like, give a sister some love, show me some love, and let me know you're here. All right. If you are new to me, type in the word new or newbie. And if you're true to me, means you've been rocking with me for a long minute, type in the word true or OG, okay? Because I want to know who my OGers are and those of you who are new. And so in case we have not yet met, hey, again, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Katrina Marie, also known as the Boss Chick Biz Coach, and of course, your fearless leader, darling, okay? And I am a holistic business coach, an RN health and wellness educator, and I teach high achieving women entrepreneurs and corporate career women who are successful and established in their corporate career, who is looking to transition out. I teach you how to build an aligned and profitable online brand and business without sacrificing your soul and sanity or compromising your health and happiness. Okay. So if that right there ain't a mic drop, I don't know what is. Okay. But listen, I like to talk a little bit about my journey. I won't go into details, but just really quickly, my journey is really what led me here to do this work that I do today. And that's true for any of us who's doing the work that we do, right? It's usually our stories and our journeys and whatever our path was that took us to get from where we were to where we are now to be able to serve our communities, right? And so the women that I cater to, and I do exclusively cater to women, those, it's all about, where I've been and my 30 years in corporate America, my 25 years in nursing, my 20 plus years in the leadership in a variety of settings, in healthcare in a variety in the corporate arena. I've predominantly been in leadership roles within the healthcare setting. So I've done a lot, right? I've done a lot in that amount of time. And I specialize in a lot of areas, but mental health is certainly one that I've been, sticking it out with for a very long time and that I know very well. So that is a subject that is really in an area of expertise that I have, but that's actually near and dear to my heart. Okay. I've also been running a coaching and consulting firm business online service for the last 8 years now. And I have also done coaching and consulting in a variety of settings within healthcare as well. Okay. So that's kind of like just a quick down and dirty, like what my background is, just so you know. But I say all that to say, not to bore you with accolades and how long I worked in corporate and all that, yada, yada, yada. Some people don't care about all of that. But those of you who just want to know a little bit about my background, that might be helpful to you if you're new here. But also, it's good for you to have that background because, again, I say all that to say that I have firsthand experience of what it is like to be burnt out at the bedside as a nurse, to be battling in the boardrooms as a healthcare administrator in variety of leadership roles, right? And I know what it's like to be busy and burnt down or bogged down and burnt out in business, okay? And so I have had to go through my own healing journey, and I talked about that in previous episodes, so I won't get into that today. But I also know, unfortunately, what it's like to be taking care of patients, predominantly women who are over 40, women of color, women of the LGBTQ plus communities, women who have experienced a significant amount of stress and burnout. And oftentimes the headaches, the heartaches, and the health issues that they're experiencing typically are signs of the hustle and excessive hard work. And oftentimes that relates back to hostile work environments, which is disruptive to their home environments. And sometimes, unfortunately, these women are also in hostile home environments, right? So yeah, they're dealing with quite a lot. So all of that has really positioned me, again, to be right here talking about the things that I talk about on this live stream series, and really to equip you with my proprietary systems. And the whole entire reason why I am doing this live stream series and why I created the Legacy Ladder framework is really it is truly designed to, my tongue is tied this morning, but truly designed to revive your business, right? And renew your entire life. And so I am calling this and coining this the CPR and AED of entrepreneurship, right? So that's just like a little bit of background with that. But I more importantly want you to know that the whole point of this series specifically is to help to give people, women, and I know there are some fellas who follow me, okay? But the women that I cater to, the women I work with, the women that I interact with, those who are in my circle, right? Those women are typically type A personalities, overachievers, high achievers, overperformers, just doing the most, really trying to secure the bag and secure the future and create a better life for their families. Okay. And so oftentimes what I know for sure is that they're having these conversations in secret. They're going through some things behind closed doors, but they're not really talking about these things out loud because of embarrassment, of shame, a fear of judgment, right? And just simply because not everybody is talking openly and outwardly about their public successes, yes, but not the private failures, right? So we're all going through something at some point in our lives, and it doesn't make it very easy for women to come out and talk about things that are bothersome to them and the things that they need healing from and the things that they are going through, right? The things that are keeping them up at night, when in fact, everybody is just talking about how successful they are and how great life is, and nobody's really talking about some of the sufferings that they've had, or some of the things that they're silencing, again, out of for a variety of reasons, right? So sometimes, you might be, lots of times the women that I work with, you are just holding down the household solely. Maybe you do have a partner or a spouse, but you're still like maybe the breadwinner. Maybe you're making more than he or she is. And, perhaps you have, school age children or child in college or an adult child who had a need to come back home for whatever reason. Maybe you're sandwiched in between generations, right? So you're taking care of your own family and household, and then you have aging parents who may need you, ill family members, whatever the case may be, but you're doing a lot, right? You're doing all that on top of running a business full time, on top of working in corporate America in a demanding role, whatever that is, right? You're just doing the most, and it's really a lot on your plate, and you're trying to figure out how can you really get back to, regaining your power and regaining control over your current circumstance and situation. You want to know how you can make bigger profits. You want to bring more peace into your life, right? And you want more pleasure. And so that's really and truly why we are doing this live stream series. And it's important for me to say that every time, because I want to just kind of drive that message home for more women to know that this is the safe space, the safe haven, the sanctuary that I always talk about, that you have right now, that's available to you, readily and available and accessible to you, to be a part of this discussion and to be in the room to have this conversation, right? So this is not just a monologue, it is a dialogue between us. And I'd like for us to be able to openly and outwardly have conversations that you're having anyway, right? So let's go ahead and talk about that. Now, before we get into it, I know y'all notice I'm looking like a whole rainbow over here. Okay, I'm looking like a whole entire rainbow, right? So, and the reason for that is because I am representing, hunty, okay, all the way down to the nails. I thought you knew. Okay, I'm representing from my LGBTQ plus peeps. Listen, I stop at the plus because we getting too many letters, y'all. Okay, we got the L, the G, the B, the T, the Q, the I, the A, the plus, the minus, the divide sign. Listen, wherever you want to stop, you stop. Okay, but I'm going to stop at the Q plus. I'll just say plus, plus, plus. Okay, but I am representing, it's Gay Pride Month. Okay, and as long as it's Gay Pride Month, I want you to know all walks of life in all colors of the rainbow, okay, is what my brand and business represents. And so you can have a seat at the table with us, no matter what your background is and where you're from, and what the color of your skin is, and what your socioeconomic background or educational level is, or whatever, right? You can rock with us. But I do want to just recognize it and acknowledge the fact that it's Gay Pride Month, and we, as the rainbow symbolizes, right, we're going to embrace diversity, and let's just spread more love and positivity and joy and unity throughout this world, so we can all heal from whatever it is we're going through. Now, that was a mouthful, right? By the way, I always have something to keep me hydrated. Make sure, if you don't already, go real quick and grab you something to sip on. Where are my tea sippers at? Because that's what I got this morning. I got my organic Moroccan mint green tea. I love this tea. I tell you guys about it all the time. It is my favorite tea from Trader Joe's. It's so refreshing, so good for you, so yummy. And I have a cup of this at least. It used to be every day, but maybe now about 3 or so times a week. But listen, you got to have yourself a cup, or whatever your favorite beverage is. Go grab that, and make sure you have something to write with. Grab a pen and paper, okay, so that you have something to write with, as I'm going to be dropping gems as usual, and I don't want you to miss the message. and be sure that you rewatch it in case you did miss anything, okay? But over the last 4 weeks, we talked about a lot, right? We talked about how to lead like a legend. We talked about harmony of over hustle. We talked about smart money moves. And then last week, we talked about peak performance, okay? So if you've missed any of those episodes, don't sweat it. It's cool. Keep it cool. Okay, you can go back and watch those. And so go back to the replay page, which we're dropping right here. Thank you, Vanessa, for that. I got my moderator here with me. She is so on point. I love her. And so thank you so much. Yes, go back to the replay. And you know what else? I want you to not miss a single episode. So make sure you are registering for these live stream series. I'm here, same time, same place, every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 o'clock Eastern time, and whatever else time it is for you. Just do the math on that, all right? But you can always watch me live by registering because you'll get notified that way. But also, if you happen to miss any episodes, you can always go back to the replay page, okay? So that's the link we just dropped for you right there. Anyways, go back, catch up, come back, keep up, and let's keep it moving, all right? Today, what are we talking about? I'm going to tell you in a minute after I take a sip of my tea, all right? And this is super hot still. All right, so today we are diving into Delegate to Elevate. Delegate to Elevate. So the title of this live is How Delegate to Elevate, How to Empower Your Team and Enhance Your Business. How to empower your team and elevate your business. Or like, I want to say that again. Delegate to Elevate, How to Empower Your Team and Enhance your business. Okay. I don't know if that's what I said at first, but I felt like I said something else. All right. I got to get it together today, y'all. Maybe it's I got my glitter going on here. I must be too much glitter and rainbow colors going on over here. All right. But I'm here to brighten up your day. All right. So anyways, yeah. So if you're ready to transform your business efficiency and step into a new level of leadership and productivity, then I'm so glad you're here. You're definitely in the right place. We are going to explore how effective delegation and automation can free up your time, allowing you to focus on growth and innovation. All right. So, where do we start? I would say it's important to always start with really having an understanding of, in this case, why delegation and elevation or delegation and automation is so crucial to your business for the efficiency and the growth, right, of your business. And without it, it literally can mean the difference between life or death for your business. Like literally. And I know you're like, okay, that just sounds so dramatic. Really, Katrina? Life or death of my business? Like, is that serious? Yes, it is. That serious. Okay. And I know it sounds dramatic, but I have to put it into perspective for you so that you can really get a clear and deeper understanding of why that's the case. Okay. Your primary goal in business overall, as the business owner and as a business leader, should be, I want to reemphasize, should be. Okay. I'm highlighting that word because it is an operative word, but you absolutely should be creating a business that will work for you continuously, even if and when you can't, or if and when you are not able to be physically present. I'm going to say that again. Your primary goal as a business owner and as a business leader should always be to create a business that will continue to work for you, even when you are not able to work, even when you are not able to be physically present. So that means when you are medically ill or not mentally doing well, right? When maybe a loved one passes away and you need time to grieve. when you need to take an extended leave of absence. Those are times that you cannot be physically present, right? So, for example, in 2020, as I shared my story with you at the very beginning, I talked about the dreaded D's on our kickoff live stream for this series. And I talked about how things just hit me back to back to back to back, right? Left and right, below the belt, sucker punch, like I didn't even see it coming. All the D's that you can think of, right? And I won't go into every last one of them, but for example, I went through a dissolution of a business partnership. Uh, I had an unwanted divorce, right? Unexpected deaths in my family, insurmountable debt, and so on and so forth. And so I had to, at that time, take a self-care sabbatical for a few months so that I could heal from so much trauma and so much drama and so much devastation that was going on in my life at that time. And thankfully, I had structured my business in such a way that things worked seamlessly without me there, right? I had a structured business, I had self-sufficient staff, I had systems and strategies that worked for me and that were in place and continued to work behind the scenes, making it appear as though I was there all along, right? That I was physically present, that I was in fact omnipresent and I didn't skip a beat. In reality, I wasn't there physically because I couldn't be, because mentally I was drained, right? Spiritually, I was bankrupt. I was, going through it, right? So I couldn't physically be there and give my all and give my best. And so having my business structured, having a self-sufficient staff, having systems and strategies in place really worked in my favor during that time. Right? I needed that time. I needed that space to properly grieve and to get my life back in order. And so, automation and delegation, I'm going to try to pay attention to any chats or anything over here. Okay, automation and delegation can literally save your life as well. Not just your business, I mean, literally save your life. And in case you're wondering how, it can save you from, it combats burnout. And after all, isn't that a part of what I just said we're talking about today and why we're doing this live stream series? Is so we can prevent burnout, right? Which, depending on the severity of burnout, can really lead you to a hospital stay for days and weeks at a time, depending on the severity, right? So again, I have seen this firsthand, and it's a horrible way to, to be. It doesn't feel good as a nurse, right? Taking care of a woman who's in this situation, but as the woman who's in this situation and feeling her pain as another woman, that hurts, especially when you know what she's going through, because maybe you've been through something similar. And because, because you're human and because you care, because I care, right? As a nurse, that's why I'm in the business of nursing, right? Because I care and I'm not, by nature, I'm a nurturer. And of course, because it's a part of my humanity, right? This is what I do. But I don't want to see women stressed the hell out and burnt the hell out because they have overcommitted and overworked themselves to near death. So, I've worked with women like this in the corporate arena, of course, in business, right? And I've taken care of them at the bedside, as well as in psych facilities due to nervous breakdowns that they've had, anxiety and depression that they've experienced. And lots of times they are medicating themselves, obviously with the wrong things. They become addicted and life just kind of goes down the hill from there, right? They're medicating themselves with substances, alcohol, drugs, pills. So even though it's prescribed drugs, it's still drugs, right? Illicit drugs, of course, and everything else that you can think of that just over medicating, even food, over medicating with food, over medicating with sex, over medicating with like all of these things that they're trying to fill their void with. But really, at the core, what they need to be doing is healing, right? And that could be you. I could be talking to you. Maybe I took care of someone like you, or another nurse took care of you, and because you were in a similar situation, the very situation maybe that I'm describing. Okay. So I want you to allow people to remove the excess work off your plate. And by people, I mean human resources. Hiring help is what we're talking about. We're getting to the delegation piece, right? And then, of course, let advanced technology do the heavy lifting for you as well as for them, meaning your team or the people you hire or outsource to. Because this is the fastest way by far that you're able to improve efficiency and productivity across every department, right? From marketing and sales, service, commerce, human resources, finances, you name it. This is by far the best way. Incorporating automation, okay? Write that down. Automation, okay, will save your life. Delegation will save your life. Why? How? Because it reduces repetitive, time-consuming, tedious tasks, right? It prevents you from being a busy Barbara, right? We don't want you to be busy, bogged down, and burnt out. And so it used to be thought that technology really was a nice to have, but I'm here to tell you that it is a need to have. You absolutely need technology and people resources to help you. You just do. And I feel like that was always true, but unfortunately, not everybody easily embraces newness, right? So when new technology comes out, everybody gets all up in arms. Oh my God, new technology. What do I do with this? I don't know how to do. Listen, we got to get with the program. Seriously, we got to get with the program. Because technology is going to be here and keep advancing, whether you decide to keep up with it and move with it in the time, as time goes by or not. As technology advances, you have the opportunity to learn and grow and evolve with it, right? So embrace it, because what you're really embracing is ease. And after all, at the end of the day, isn't that what we're really talking about? To prevent burnout is to invite ease in our life, right? So, what does this mean for you then? This means that we're getting more work done in less time. It means that you are stressing less, that the stress level for your team is lowered, which means higher retention, right? Because if your staff doesn't have to come in and day out with a high level of stress, that means they're going to stay longer, right? And it reduces error rates, because you're not just depending on what I call human hands and human heads, right? Our brains, right? Human hands and human heads. Why? Because we have AI now. And isn't that a wonderful thing? We have another brain, a robot that will think. I mean, obviously you've got to give it information, you've got to feed it information, right? And it doesn't take over, what humans can do. It's not replacing us, but it is there to help us significantly and help us work faster and smarter. So, and then customer service and client experiences are much better. What does that mean for you? It means higher ratings and amazing testimonials. And overall results for your company are improved, right? And you are then able to sit back and relax as you watch the revenue come in, so that you can stay focused and do your best work as the CEO and the visionary of your brand and business, which is what you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be tied down and entwined and tangled up with the weeds, right? You're not supposed to be in the weeds all day, every day, working in your business rather than on it. And that is what automation and delegation helps with. So I can go on and on and on about the benefits, but you get the point, right? You get the point. Okay. So, effective delegation strategies. What does that look like? How can you identify tasks that actually need to be delegated? The first thing you need to do is you must stop hoarding tasks, thinking that you can do it better or that you don't have time to hire or teach someone or that it's going to cost you too much to outsource it or to hire someone who can do it for you. Oftentimes, without even realizing it, we are the bottlenecks in our own businesses, right? And we need to recognize this as a problem because we can't fix a problem that we don't know exists, right? So that's the first thing. You got to stop hoarding the task. You got to get out of your way, right? So, really, what I'm saying to you is you're going to have a heart to heart, sit down conversation with Miss Perfect Patty over there. Okay. I'm talking about your alter ego, Miss Perfect Patty. You know her because she keeps lying to you and she keeps convincing you that you can do it all. Girl, we got this. We could do it all. We could do whatever we put our minds to. Yes, we can. But why do we need to? Why should we have to? Miss Perfect Patty, go have several seats. Okay. Have several seats. Okay. Like, no, we don't got this. Not like this, not to the point that we're burning ourselves out. Not to the point that we are burning ourselves out. You don't got it like that. You shouldn't want to have it like that. Nobody in their right mind will overwork themselves to the detriment of their health, right? So then why are you? If you had it, if you got it, like Miss Perfect Patty said, then you would have already been where you wanted to be by now. And you wouldn't have had to work your butt off, okay, and hustle your way through and struggle your way through to get to the success that you're striving to achieve. So don't do it. Don't do it. It's not necessary and it's only going to lead you down a really bad path. And like I said, burnout is a real thing. And you don't want to end up in the hospital like so many women do that I've taken care of over the years. Okay. The next thing I want you to do is then take inventory. Take inventory of the tasks that you're already doing, the tasks you're already doing, okay, so that you can determine what you need to offload to a team member who has the talent, first of all, who understands the tech, right? And who has the time. I want you to start removing time-consuming, tedious tasks off your plate. Tiny projects off your plate. Tiny projects add up. 15 minutes here, 30 minutes here, an hour here, 40 minutes here. Before you know it, half the day has gone by and you're like, oh my God, I've been so busy today, yet I don't feel like I've moved the needle. I haven't gotten anywhere. What have I done? What have I accomplished? Nothing that's getting ready to create or generate more money. Nothing that's getting ready to allow me to step in my highest and best self. Nothing that is getting ready to allow me to impact the people that I am here to serve and called to serve. What did I really get accomplished today? Right? I want you to get tiny projects off your plate. I want you to get time sensitive tasks off your plate. Because oftentimes time sensitive tasks are competing priorities, right? So everything's important. So if everything is almost equally important and everything's a priority, something's got to take precedence over the other thing. And if they're equally important and they all need to get done, how are you by yourself going to achieve that? It's only one of you. There's only 24 hours in a day, and not all 24 of the hours in that day is what you're working the whole time, right? You got to eat, you got to sleep, you got to shower, you got to, take care of business, you got family, you need a mental moment. I mean, the whole 24 hours obviously is not you working. I hope not. So allow somebody else to take those competing priorities off of your plate so that you can focus on the things that are most important for what you can do best, operating in your zone of genius. Okay. And then, take projects off your plate that are teachable. If it's something that could be taught, teach it. And then the task that you're terrible at, somebody else might be terrific at. Right? Take that off your plate. So all of these DIY projects that you're working on right now that you're dabbling in and out of, girl, and you ain't getting nowhere, right? So go ahead and let that go. So again, the T's, right? Time consuming and tedious tasks, tiny projects, time sensitive projects, projects that are teachable, projects that you're terrible at and that somebody else is terrific at. Those are the T's I want you to focus on. That's how I usually direct people or instruct people to take those things off their plate first, or how you take inventory of what you need to delegate first. Okay. Even if you're great at it, doesn't matter. Is it your best use of time? More than likely not, right? More than likely not. So then the next thing is, and I hope you're writing this down. I hope y'all are writing this down. I know y'all are writing this down, right? Of course you are. Okay. Y'all are my peeps. I know you are. So I want you to set a date. Why? A date's important, right? We talked about SMART goals last time. We can't just be saying the thing we're going to do. We have to set dates so we can reach the goal. So what is the date that you're going to actually delegate each of these tasks that you have now identified after you've taken inventory? In other words, to whom and by when, right? Who are you going to give this task to and by what date? You need to actually write this down. Delegation can be the one thing that literally resuscitates your business right now if it is on the brink of dying. It is just waiting for you to give it a breath of life. Or two, delegate and automate. Those are the breaths it needs right now. One of the best tips that I can share with you on selecting the right team members for delegating, right, for starting this process, because I know that's your next question. Okay, so I know I need to delegate. You're right. I'm doing too much. I keep trying to hoard all of these tasks and do things myself and convince myself and lie to myself and let Miss Perfect Patty tell me what we can still do and that we got this and all of that. How do I decide which team member to actually give the work to? Well, that's a great question. I think you need to start by assessing their skill set, right? And role, right? Their actual role. So what current role are they in? And I'm talking about team members you already have or team members that you need to hire. And if you're not bringing people on payroll, who can you outsource the work to? Who does that need to be? So for example, if you have a social media manager and a video editor and an executive VA on your team right now, okay, who is the most appropriate person? What is the most appropriate position to, for example, create your funnels or to do your graphic design or to manage your social media accounts? So sometimes it's just a pretty easy and straightforward answer, right? If it's social media management, scheduling and posting your content and such, obviously that's going to go to a social media manager, right? If it is somebody you need to do your funnels, I mean, what is your VA doing right now? Is she just doing admin stuff? Customer service needs? Is she just, monitoring your emails? Or does she also do, like in my case, I actually have each of those individuals on my team. My social media manager happens to be really, really good at video editing. I had a video editor before. That's solely what that person did. But she was so great at it. It's like, why not go ahead and just give her that, because she's already doing graphic, right? For my social media. She is already managing my social media platforms. She's great at video editing, right? So why not give that kind of all goes hand in hand. So she was the best person on my team to do those roles, right? So it just made the most sense because of her skill set, because of her title, because of the role that she's playing in my organization. My executive assistant, she does a lot. She knows how to do funnels. She also knows graphic design. She also knows how to do so many things, right? She does my email marketing. She does my automation. She does a lot. So, but she doesn't do video editing necessarily. That's like not her specialty area. You see what I'm saying? So I wouldn't give funnels or video editing to her, nor would I give funnels, the projects that I have around funnels, to my social media manager. You see? So you just have to sort of match the roles with the skill set, with the person's abilities, right? And again, if it's something that's teachable, then sure, then go ahead and teach it. And we're going to get into that in just a second here. But it's just really important to be clear on your communication with these individuals, your team members, right? Because you want to set clear expectations. Why? Because you want to set them up for success. If you're going to be handing off something that you kept near and dear to you and felt like you were the only one to do it and that you could do it better, then the last thing you want to do is just give it to some person haphazardly and then, just think you're going to be hands off completely. You shouldn't just hand the task over to your team and just move on about your day, right? Like when I was a nurse on the floor, for example, when the shift ended, I had to do end of shift report for the new nurse that was coming on to the shift, right? So we're expected to give a full report for the nurse coming on. We can't just walk off the floor and be like, okay, I've already taken care of my patients. Okay, I've already done my 12 hours. Deuces, good luck to you. I'm out. No, come on. So we get a full report. That meant I needed to provide the details, right? The patient's name, the medical history, what family members they have. Are they a DNR, right? Do not resuscitate or not. What's the reason for admission? What's their current medication? What regimen are they on? What is their plan of care? What's their pain level? What are we doing to manage their pain? What allergies do they have? What physicians are on the case and why? What are their discharge instructions and so on and so forth? Full report. So I can set that nurse up to be successful, to take really good care of that patient and let that patient know he or she is in good hands. Because the nurse knows everything about you that I know, and she's going to take great care of you. Right? So when you want the job done right and you want to minimize confusion and risk, of course, then you're going to need to provide the same level of details to the person that you're handing it off to, the person on your team who you're assigning to do this new task that you're having them to do. So that would look like or sound like, what is the project goal here? What are we talking about? What are we handing off? What is your as the boss, your as the CEO, what is your desired result? What vision do you have? Bring that vision to life so they also understand it. So they can be a part of it. So they can also envision what you envision. Okay. Explain why you trusted them to take on this role and why you are handing off this specific task to them. What is the deadline? How frequently will you be meeting with them and checking in and discussing things with them about this project, right? What are the resources that are available to your team? Do they have everything they need in order to meet and or exceed your expectations? Again, are you setting them up for success or failure? And then cross training is another thing I want you to consider, okay? Cross training, just as a quick mention, is very crucial to your business, because it's crucial to your business and your bottom line. Because if you are depending on just one person, just one, for specific tasks that you need done, can you imagine that if nobody else is trained in that area to do the same job, what chaos and havoc that would create in your business? What happens when the person gets sick? What happens if they go on vacation? What happens if they're out of town for whatever reason? Any, unforeseen circumstances, life will deal us, right? Any unforeseen circumstance that will just come out of the blue. And it was an emergency and they can't come in. And they're not going to be in for a while. You don't know how to do the task and you don't have another team member who knows how to do the task. What if they quit? What if you have to terminate their position? What if, whatever the scenario you want to plug in and fill in the blank? There are lots of scenarios we can create and think about, but the question still remains, what are you going to do? Is your business just going to be like nobody can do it until they get back, or till you find somebody else to replace them, or until you learn it yourself? Is that the answer? You can't run a sustainable business like that, right? So empower your team. When you're delegating to your team members, empower them. It frees you up, right? It frees up your time. It frees up your energy. It creates more spaciousness in your day. But it also empowers your team to feel worthy, trusted. It builds their confidence. It boosts morale in your organization or company, right? It cultivates high-performing teams. So, some of the techniques that I would advise you to use is, first of all, to play up their ego. And I mean that in the best way possible. I'm saying, like, play to your team members' strengths and their skill sets. Make sure that they are really and truly set up for success, right? Reassure them that you are available and approachable whenever they have questions. Like, don't make them feel like you're standoffish and you're hands off and, look, I gave this to you, get it done. And all you're doing is cracking the whip and you have that iron fist and you listen, I handed this to you, so I'm expecting you to get this work done. No. Be approachable. Be an effective leader. Right? We talked about that in Lead Like a Legend. Be an effective leader. Don't micromanage them, but oversight is what you can provide. Check in with them. How you doing? How you feeling about this? Anything I can get for you? Do you have everything you need? Do you have all the tools and resources that you need to do a great job? Do you feel comfortable and confident in this role? Do you feel like there's extra training that I can provide to you? Like, what can I do to help you succeed in your role so that you can in turn help me succeed and help our company succeed or contribute to our company's overall success, right? That's what we're doing here. So, allow for learning curves, because sometimes there is a steep learning curve depending on what you're giving them. Provide them with the extra training if they need it. Provide the feedback. Like, once a week, my team will tell you, every single week I round with them. In fact, I round with them every single day, but every week I have them do kind of like an end of week report, that's exactly what it's called, an end of week report, similar to, like I was just describing a bit ago about an end of shift report. At the end of the week, I want to know specific questions. How are they doing? How are they feeling? Are they able to manage their workload? Do they feel like, they had enough time this week to accomplish their goals? What are they working on currently? What are they planning on working on for the next week? What have they accomplished? How are they feeling about their accomplishments? Is there anything else I can do for them to support them in their role? I ask those very questions. That's very important. That's very key to their success as much as it is yours. Okay. So, provide the training and development opportunities for them. So when I needed my social media manager to know more about like some of these platforms that we're on, TikTok and Instagram, and when things aren't working and we need a new strategy, I'm having them in class, right? I pay for the additional training that they need so they can be more developed in that area, so they can increase their skill set. Helping them in that way is only going to help me and my company. So I'm inviting you and tasking you with doing the same. Okay. Recognize and reward your team's contributions as well. Like, it's nothing worse. I mean, I just remember the feeling of working so hard, working my butt off, always, I'm trying to do everything it took to impress the boss, right? To impress my manager and my team and all of my contributions, just to not be recognized, just to not, even be acknowledged for your great work, your hard work, your ongoing efforts. That is an awful feeling. Don't be that kind of boss. Don't be that chick. Don't be that CEO. Okay. So, and then streamlining operations is the other thing. Okay. Streamlining operations and automation. Let's see how we doing on time. Okay. So tools and technology that can help with repetitive tasks. I'm going to just give you a handful here. Again, write this down. You need a robust, I'm not going to go over everything. It's just way too much, right? There's so many tools that they have for online businesses. You can look into these things yourself, but I'm just going to give you a handful. A robust CRM is definitely something that you need. That is an all-in-one like hub, if you will, where you will do your email marketing. You can do your SMS campaigns. You can do your anything that has to do with customer management. I can't think of everything off the top of my head right now, but you can create your funnels there, your landing pages. You could do websites there. You can create a whole website within it, depending on what kind of CRM you get. Again, there's a lot out there, but just to name a few: Kartra, Entreport, Kajabi, just to name a few. There's tons and tons out there. Do your research, do your homework, look into it, do side-by-side comparisons, do what fits your budget, but make sure you do have a CRM, okay? Because you can do like so much just with that one platform. Okay. Customer service, help desk, all the things. We also have AI chatbots, right? I use ManyChat, for example. I use ManyChat to automate my DM conversations and to deliver our lead magnets. And it just keeps our pipeline full, right? You can also run ads to that if you're running ads. And that's another thing you can do, by the way, to automate. Is to run ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, whatever type of ads. But I'm familiar with Facebook ads, and that's typically what I run. We're not running any campaigns right now, but when we are, I use Facebook. Okay. And then there is task management and project management tools like Asana, Trello. What's the other one? Monday.com. So many out there. We use Asana. I've been using Asana for a while. I used to use Trello back in the day when I first started. It's just as good, but I happen to like Asana better. So some people like Trello better. So it's really a matter of preference. There is no best. Best is subjective. It's really your preference. Just take a look, do again a side-by-side comparison, and do what works for you. There's social media management tools, right? Scheduling systems like Buffer, Hootsuite. Later, I think Planoly, not sure how to pronounce that, but there's quite a few out there for that as well. And then there's a tool like Zapier that kind of helps connect all of the different apps, right? And that Zapier pretty much works and integrates with just about anything and everything. So those are just a few handful of tools that you can use to help streamline operations and automate your business. Okay, there are a plethora of online systems to help you run your business efficiently and effectively. Just choose one for each thing, okay? Just choose one. Look into it, do the research, choose one, okay? Don't make it difficult. The most important takeaway is that you understand the significance of the role that automation and delegation plays in your business and your life, and that you start to take a closer look at the areas that need to be automated and delegated in your business so that you and your business can thrive. Not just get by, not just survive, not just kind of partly stay alive. No, so thrive in your business and life. Okay, so that is my time. But before we go, as always, I want you to leave me a comment, feedback, questions, anything that you feel was helpful to you. Please do share. Do share this broadcast out, by the way, to, again, a biz bestie, your entrepreneur entourage, somebody who needs to hear this message, because sharing is caring, right? And inevitably somebody needs to hear the message. So make sure that we are getting this message out in front of more people. And then also, I want you to continue to engage with me. Again, if you come back later to watch the replay, or if you're just getting here, you get here late, you can start at the beginning of this live stream. But just be sure that you are letting me know what resonated with you, what hit home. And if you want to be a part of our community, drop in the word community in the comments, and I'll make sure that I send you a link to our Facebook group if you want to join, or you can simply just go to the C-Suite Movement if you want to join us there. All right. Otherwise, I would say every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, so 7 p.m. is Eastern Standard Time, I am doing a complimentary holistic strategy session. It is just a info session where we're just getting better acquainted. I'm seeing what your current struggles are, what your successes have been, where you are in the journey of life and business, and how I can best support you. And you're getting to know me better as a coach and what I have to offer you. So I do have my Legacy Leaders Lab. It's my 30-day program that I'm offering right now. And we can talk more about that, not necessarily here on this live stream, but definitely if you come and join the holistic strategy session, I will make sure that if you register for that, you do need to register because I keep it small and quaint. I like it to be an intimate session. Go ahead and get on my schedule, book a time, the book a slot so that you can be there. And I know you're coming. And then I can tell you more about that program or any other program that we would be fitting to your lifestyle and where you are in your business journey right now. Okay. Also, if you want a copy of my free AED Business Revival Toolkit, and or my Legacy Ladder Framework so that you get an understanding of how that works, then you can go ahead and grab your copy of that as well. Both of those are free. So make sure you grab your copy today, okay? And also, if you need some help with mastering your mindset, you can also purchase a copy of my ebook, Learn the 5 Pillars of Entrepreneurial Success. And I talk about how imposter syndrome is a scam, okay? It's for a very low cost. You can purchase that and it will give you some insight into what the 5 pillars to success is in the entrepreneurial space. But anyhow, there's lots that you can, I can help you with, free resources, low cost resources. And then of course, we can work together in a longer container or a shorter container, depending on where you are in business and what your needs are. And we can talk more about that when we get into the holistic strategy session info room. Okay, so join me in one of those sessions for sure. Thank you for tuning in live and or on the replay. I want to make sure there's nothing else I need to share with you. Let's see. Yeah, we can talk about the other stuff later, but we are right at about an hour. I'm just telling y'all, I'm getting good at this, okay? Because it used to be that I would say we're going to spend a certain amount of time and I would be way over that amount of time. So I'm going to let you go. I'm going to tune out while you tune in. As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you, okay? Bye for now. All right, I'm going to let you go first this time, InstaFam. See you later. All right. And I'll see you later, Facebook fam. Who we have YouTubers, and of course, LinkedIn. See you next time. Same place, same time, next week, Wednesday. See you then. Have an amazing day.